What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Race.
All good things must come to an end, including The Handmaid's Tale, a series that will air its last season soon, and we just can't get over the fact that this is it. This time, we'll see how our dear protagonist will end up after suffering and going through hell because of the awful regime. But really, how will The Handmaid's Tale end? Will someone destroy Gilead? What will happen to June and Serena after their reunion? Let's dive into everything we know about the last chapter of the series, shall we? We feel like it's been a decade since The Handmaid's Tale premiered, and after spending so much time investing in the characters and the story, we just can't believe the end is near. The Handmaid's Tale premiered in 2017 on Hulu, and ever since, the show has been referred to as the best dystopian series ever, with its story focusing on dystopian events that don't feel so dystopian after all. There were some rumors suggesting that the series will end with the 5th installment, but those were only rumors because Hulu has already confirmed that they renewed the show for a 6th and final season. This was announced shortly before the premiere of Season 5. It's been a true honor to tell the story of Margaret Atwood's groundbreaking novel and the chilling, relevant world, and we are thrilled to bring viewers a 6th and final season of The Handmaid's Tale, Bruce Miller, the show's creator, showrunner, and executive producer, said in a statement, adding that they are grateful to Hulu and MGM for allowing them to tell this story, which unfortunately has remained as relevant as ever throughout its run. For those who are unfamiliar, the series is an adaptation of Margaret Atwood's 1985 novel of the same name. It is not the first adaptation, but it is surely the most successful one. The story focuses on fertility issues in America and Gilead, an awful regime that took over most of the US. Basically, the plot follows women who are fertile and forced to give birth to children that will end up in the homes of rich, powerful families. Over its course, the show managed to win 15 Emmy Awards and made history as the first streaming title to win in the Outstanding Drama Series category.
The Emmy goes to Bruce Miller, The Handmaid's Tale, and Dowd, The Handmaid's Tale.
So, who's coming back in Season 6? Two actresses that will most definitely lead the last chapter are Elisabeth Moss, June Osborne, and Yvonne Strahovski, Serena Joy Waterford. The 5th installment ended with a reunion between the two women, and we can't wait to see what will happen to them in the last season. Do you think June still sees Serena as an enemy? Let us know. Madeline Brewer, Janine, Ann Dowd, Aunt Lydia, O.T. Feigenbell, Luke, Max Mingenhella, Nick, Samara Wiley, Moriah, Bradley Whitford, Commander Lawrence, and Amanda Brigel, Rita are also expected to return and reprise their roles. One familiar face will be absent though, and we can't believe she's decided not to return in the final season. But we respect her decision, and we just have to make peace with the fact that Alexis is not returning. The actress who played Emily ever since the beginning of the series decided to leave the show prior to its 5th installment, and the creators explained Emily's departure in the first episode of Season 5, as it was revealed that she was returning to Gilead.
She went back to Gilead.
So, when does Season 6 come out? Well, according to Hulu, it's time for you to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. Now, seriously, we're waiting for an official release date, but it looks like we'll have to wait a bit longer this time. Elisabeth Moss, the star, director, and producer, told Elle.com that it feels like it's going to be so long until you guys get to see anything else. She also said she wants to apologize personally for that, but every season they do gets bigger, and it takes longer to make every time. And because it's the final season, we really want to make sure that's exactly what we want to do. Do you guys know what time it is? It's time for some mind-blowing plot details. Okay, Season 5 left us with a couple of cliffhangers. I mean, it's The Handmaid's Tale after all. A couple of plot twists and a dozen cliffhangers were expected. The biggest cliffhanger came in the finale when June and Luke went separate ways as he turned himself over to the Canadian authorities.
I love you, June Osborne.
He did this in order for June to escape on the refugee train with her beloved daughter Nicole. But there was someone familiar with these Gilead refugees. On the train, June meets her enemy, Serena, and her newborn, Noah. Maybe Serena and June will both travel together to Vancouver, and will they end up in Hawaii? We have some good news. Since the show is based on the novel by Margaret Atwood, we don't expect to see an ending for June so soon. In the novel, June's future stays uncertain at the end, and her story continues in The Testaments, which is a sequel to the first novel and reveals some shocking details about the characters in the first novel. Now, there's a possibility that the creators will choose not to stay loyal to the source material and come up with their own ending instead.
You got a diaper?
The creator of the series, Bruce Miller, told Deadline that he doesn't feel an allegiance to wrap June up the way she's wrapped up in the Testament novel. "I just want to follow the story and make sure it makes sense," he told the outlet. "I don't know about you guys, but I feel like a happily ever after for June was never an option. I really have this feeling that makes me believe the show will end with an uncertain future for most of the characters, rather than reuniting June with Luke and her daughters." Do you guys have any theories regarding the conclusion of the series? Let us know before we jump into details about The Testaments and its screen adaptation.
From Vancouver, you should be able to get a boat to the States, but if Canada Rail has his name, your refugee cards.
As we're approaching the conclusion of the series, we can't help but wonder whether there will be a Handmaid's Tale spin-off. We're happy to announce that yes, there will be a continuation that won't focus on June. This means we'll have a different protagonist as the main character in The Testaments, and it's Aunt Lydia. It's likely that Anne Dow would return to this new project and reprise her role. Speaking about Lydia's big plot twist in the original book's sequel, The Testaments, which was published in 2019, Anne said, per The Hollywood Reporter, "I was thrilled. Let's get real on that. By what Aunt Lydia does and how she does it, her understanding of Gilead to its core, and what it'll bring, what surprised me and didn't is how she got involved in Gilead in the first place." For those not familiar, Aunt Lydia is revealed to be working against Gilead ever since the start. She is a person who destroys Gilead once and for all. It seems unlikely that we'll see this twist in The Handmaid's Tale, even though there has been some storylines in the series that prove Aunt Lydia is about to turn against the evil regime. This only brings us to Lydia's vengeance.
You've lost all sense. You've all of the good that you...
As aforementioned, Aunt Lydia helps a lot in the destruction of Gilead, and there's no doubt that the characters has transformed a lot during the course of the series, especially in the last 2 installments. According to Anne, you need to smash that like button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. But seriously, it's not like she's this woman with a pure soul and a good heart, but she has certainly become softer after you compare her in Season 6 and in Season 1. Aunt Lydia has been ignored by the commanders in the previous season, which made her trust the system but despise its leaders. We'll see you in the next video.